So this question is a constructed response question, which means that we're going to have to use solve. And the question says, Stephanie is buying gifts to give away at a fundraiser as described below. So she has $500 to spend. She's buying 25 movie passes that cost $7.50 each. She's buying 11 gift cards that cost $15 each. And she's going to use the money that's left over to buy candy bars. And each of those candy bars costs $2.25 each. We're being asked to write and solve an expression to find the greatest number of candy bars she can buy with the rest of the money. So that is actually our S. So let's underline it one more time. We're being asked to write and solve an expression to find the greatest number of candy bars. Let me redo that. Write and solve an expression to find the greatest number of candy bars she can buy with the rest of the money. So before we can actually even start the problem, and again, that's our S, we're pretty lucky because our O, for organizing our key facts, that's everything right here. So I'll just draw a little arrow to O because these are all my key facts. Before I can line up a plan of action, I have to know exactly what's happening. We have this person, Stephanie, and Stephanie is throwing a fundraiser, and she's getting gifts to give away at the fundraiser, and she starts with $500. So in my plan, I'm going to start with 500. I'm going to take away the cost from buying the movie passes. I'm going to take away the cost of buying the gift cards. And then whatever's left over, I'm going to divide by $2.25 because that will tell me how many candy bars we can buy with the money that's left over. So let's go and write and solve an expression to find that number of candy bars. First, well, again, let's actually set up our L. So 1, we are going to start with the money Stephanie has. And then 2, we're going to find and take away the cost of the movie passes and gift cards. And then finally, we're going to divide by 225. Well, divide by cost per candy bar. Cost of each candy bar. For the L, I try to avoid using actual numbers. That way we understand exactly what's happening in the problem. Now let's go to V. Let's set up this expression where we're doing everything we just said. So let's change colors. We're going to start with $500. So that's going to be 500. And then we're going to find and take away the cost of the movie passes. Now, remember that the movie passes, there's 25 and they cost $7.50 each. So how do we go about finding the cost of all of the movie passes? Well, because there are 25 of them and they have the identically same price of $7.50, so that would be $7.50. So 25 times $7.50. Okay, so, and we're taking that away. So remember that you should be able to look at the expression and say what each thing is. This is 500. This is the money Stephanie starting with. We're taking away the result of this, which is the cost of all the movie passes. And then after that, we also have to take away the gift cards. So we're going to take away. Now, how do we find the cost for all the gift cards? Well, that would be 11 times 15 because Stephanie is buying 11 gift cards at $15 each. So we'll say 11 times 15. And after I take away this here, so let's backtrack. So we're starting with Stephanie's $500. We're going to take away the cost of the movie passes. That's this here. After that, we're going to take away the cost of the gift cards. And again, that's this here. And we're going to take all of this and we're going to divide that, the result of this, by $2.25. So I want to do all of this first. So what can I put here that will make everything happen first? Well, I can put everything here inside of parentheses and then put a line over it to represent division and put 2.25 under. That's one way to do it. You could have also done it like this instead. You could have also just done that and then divided by $2.25. Either way would have been fine. You're probably going to be more likely to see it as a fraction. So I'm actually going to stick with this way. And the reason why is because it makes putting the work down a little bit neater. So remember, 500, that's the money that Stephanie started with. We're taking away the cost of the movie passes. We're taking away the cost of the gift cards. And then we're dividing it by 225. And that's going to tell us how many candy bars we can buy with the money left over from this. So let's get started. Because inside parentheses, all we have is addition and subtraction. And remember, we should be using PEMDAS because we have multiple operations and PEMDAS is 4 steps. Are there any parentheses here? Yeah, we're working on it. And inside parentheses, what do we have? We don't have any exponents. We don't have any multiplication. Actually, we do. So we have 25 times 750. And then we also have 11 times 15. So in your calculators, if you got 25, you can put 25 times 7.50. And that's going to give you 187.50. And then let's go over to this one now. And when we do that, this is going to be 11 times 15. And that gives us 165. Okay, I'll bring down the parentheses and any numbers I haven't used. I haven't used 500 yet. I'll bring that down. Bring down the minus. Okay, and then bring down the divided by $2.25. So this means Stephanie still has $500. We're going to take away the total cost of movie passage, which now we know is $187.50. And then we're going to take away the cost of the gift cards, which now we know is $165. So now we'll do 500 minus 187.50. So 500 minus 187.50. And that gives us 312.50. We'll bring down the minus sign, the 165, and the divided by 2.25. And now this is the result of money, how much money is left over after the movie passes were bought. And then we'll take away $165. That's going to give us $147.50. And what is that? Well, that is the amount of money left after Stephanie bought both the movie passes, because we took this away, and the gift cards. So this is how much money we have left. And now that we've gotten to that point, we're going to divide that by 2.25. And when we do that, we end up with 65.5555 ... Now, what does that mean? Well, we can't buy 0.55 candy bars, right? And the question asking how many candy bars we can buy that cost $2.25 each. So the answer is 65. Think of it this way. If we tried to find the cost of 65 candy bars, so 65 times 225, 65 times 225 equals $146.25. Remember that this is how much money was left after we ended up taking away the cost of the gift cards and the movie passes. So for 65 candy bars at $2.25 each, that's going to be $146.25. Stephanie can afford that. But what if we had 66 candy bars? Well, 66 times $2.25. So 66 times $2.25 equals $148.50. And that is definitely not something that she can afford, so that's a no-no. So don't think you automatically have to round up just because you see the 0.5. Remember, in 7th grade math, you have to really think about what's happening. So that was our V. We verified our plan with action, and we can evaluate our answer. Basically, we just did evaluate our answer by saying exactly, elaborating on each of these responses. And normally I would put a complete sentence, but this is an old state exam question. You don't really need to put it in a complete sentence because it says it right here. But if we did want to put it in a complete sentence, let's just do it down here real quick. So we'll say, Stephanie can buy 65 candy bars with the money remaining. And that's it. Make sure that when you're looking at these questions that it totally makes sense and that you're able to specify what the meaning of each number in the expression represents.